are. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. This is again Queen's Realm Podcast. And as you can see, I got a couple of guests. They all over there and down here, you know what I'm saying? I got the Tongan Princess, Miss Manu, with us today. Glow, aka Glowetry, Mr. Executive Air, huh? And to his Fedora twin, apparently, today, Mr. Terence Burse today. And today, people, the men got something to say about us ladies. Friend zone and rotation episode. You understand? Roster, as you call it. The dating pool.
Oh,
So we're just going to get their opinion. You know what I'm saying? See how they felt about what we had said when we had said it. Because I said what I said.
True that.
Period. That's when Mary had a little laugh. So, me and Mr. Executive L here had a conversation the other day, and the first point I want to go to about what he said about the episode was, it's something I said that I think a lot of people missed, and that was, you can be a friend and not be in the friend zone. Manu said earlier, it's compartments to this, as far as ladies are concerned. You can be a friend, but not be in the friend zone. How did you gentlemen feel about that? I'm gonna go any, mini, miny, mo. So we're gonna go with Terrence first on how he felt about that. To
I
be a
mean,
friend but not be in the friend zone.
I get it. I mean, it makes sense to me. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
could be a friend. That means we already established that it's nothing in between that. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody you meet don't instantly go into a dating pool. You know what I'm saying? Or a selection of opportunities. So I definitely get it. Like I meet people that they a friend.
Mm-hmm.
For anything there you go. I ain't friends on you. You just what you are.
Teach the people.
Yeah, it's a difference. That's what we established and that's what we starting off as. Right.
Okay, Mr. Executive L, how do you feel about that statement? I know how you feel about that statement, but tell everybody else.
Well, I mean, I think it's interesting way to put it. But it's true in my opinion. I mean, some people they can be a good friend, and you may not even know like if it could ever go that way, or you may not even test the waters or anything like that. Like we just cool. We might check in on each other every once in a blue moon, or if we see each other out in social circles or whatever, we can hold a conversation, chat, chop it up, stuff like that. But it's really just like, in other words, sometimes it's somebody that you kind of put on ice or reserve. You know, they
Mm.
may get a chance one day, they may not get a chance one day. But you establish a good friendship first, so whichever way you move afterwards should be pretty copacetic.
So to that, I want to add. Then I'm gonna go to the ladies on that point. Because women, a lot of times, I'm gonna speak for me, ladies. Y'all can tell me y'all disagree or not. We won't automatically just put somebody, quote unquote, in this realm of possibilities. Like Terrence said, you might just be a friend, and like others said, we may never know. It may or may not be something, but something that I will do. I will friend zone somebody immediately. This ain't never gonna be nothing. And this ain't never, ever, ever gonna be nothing but this. We not even gonna play that game. Cause nah, you that's definitely friend zone thing. You're definitely in the friend zone. That's where you live. That's your new address. You can get friend zone in 30 seconds in my head. Like, okay, nah, that would never be. So you take away the possibility immediately. I will do that. I will do that. Ladies, we're gonna go any, many, money, mo. Glow.
I knew it was me. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
So the statement in question is you can be a friend but not in the friend zone. And then part two of that for the ladies is are there some people you meet and you automatically friend zone them? Just in a short period of time. I'm talking like 72 hours.
I mean, I don't necessarily that because my friend zone. When I think of friend zone, legit for myself, I think of people who I may talk to again, as far as like communication wise. But if I feel something's not right about you or our interactions, you may be cut off completely. I don't even want you close enough to my friend zone to even, I don't even want you that close. I'm just saying, you on the outside looking in. I don't need you. I don't need no more observers, But
Who's that peeping in my window?
that's just if I don't feel right, right? So why am I keeping somebody around whose vibe doesn't feel right? That's
Acosita. It's your turn. She got lots of names that I might call out randomly. One of them, y'all. Okay,
Yeah,
just to
because
let
that's
y'all know.
like, who is that?
right.
Listen, I got the whole name. I don't want to say it right quick because I know the whole name. That's just part of it. Manu was at the end of it. Into the name. Go
Right.
ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
How I feel on that, I feel like kind of like Glow, but I feel like I automatically friend zone people and then see from there. And then I'll draft you. We used the word draft last time. I'll draft you over to whichever section or department or whatever you want to call it. But
Department.
the only thing the only thing that will get you completely cut off is something like to the effect of disrespect. Like you were disrespectful towards me, so I no longer want to be your friend, and I don't want you in my friend zone. Like I don't want nothing with you. You could just go over there. Like I'm just gonna cut you off. So, but other than that, yeah, I automatically put people in the friend zone.
Cut it. See, we got three different ladies and three different things with our friend zones. Because once you're in my friend zone, that's where you live. You can't come out. You're not coming out of there. So that's why
Yeah,
I
that
have
automatic friend zone is deep right there.
this the automatic friend zone. I'm like, you a cool person, but we could never be nothing to this because you could be cool and be a slut bucket on the low, and I know that. I'm not gonna judge you, but you can't date me. This is what I mean.
I mean, have y'all ever got like a class where a teacher gave y'all automatic A, and then your grade either stayed the same or went down?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Yeah, that's what it feel like. So Manu says an automatic friend zone. So you already here. That's just a starting point. You'll start on the board, but then you can go somewhere else. I've seen teacher give you an A, and then you don't end with an A, but everybody starts there. So at least in the beginning, you feel good about yourself.
Yeah. So with Manu, you start there. For me, see, that's so crazy. Because for her, you start there. For me, you in there. Because we could be friends, but you're not in the friend zone. Once you're in my friends, hey, I'm sorry. That is never, you can't come out of there. That's like Alice in Wonderland over there. You can't. No, it's like Narnia. You got to find the door, but it ain't one. So,
Not
all
darn.
right. I'm just saying. All right, gentlemen. I'm eating meeny miny mo again. Terence went first the last time. Mr. Executive L, what is something else that stuck out to you about our episode? The point that was made. Ooh, what a sigh first.
Well,
Let me see.
for me, I kind of speak to the point that Manu said. I just want to know, like, when someone's in your friend zone, basically what you're saying is like there's no criteria to be in the friend zone.
Mm, mm,
Hold on.
There is a
Say that one more time. I didn't hear the end of it.
I said, so basically, if I'm hearing what you're saying correctly, there's no specific criteria to be in the friend zone. That people just get put over there regardless if there's a attraction of any kind. It could be mental, it could be physical. Even then, they still get put over there.
Manu,
That's
you
a
go ahead.
great question. So I think that okay, so that's I said it wrong. So you'll start in the like as friends. You'll automatically start as my friend. If there's attraction or I see something about you intellectually, emotionally, physically that I'm attracted to, then I'll move you over to the friend zone. And then from there, I'll get to know you better. And then I'll move you over to whichever, like, I don't really do friends with benefits, but like talking and then dating and then relationship and on and on and on. But that kind of just triggered a question in my mind for you guys. If you do the friend zone, I mean the friends with benefits, what qualifies somebody to come outside of the friend zone and into friends with benefits?
Well, for me, I'm kind of like Queen over here. If you go to the friend zone, you dead. That's like purgatory. Like that's almost like hell. You ain't coming back. Um, so
Not purgatory.
I mean,
My dog said, "Ain't coming back."
you ain't coming back. I mean, but as far as like to answer your questions directly, friends with benefits, like that's really like that's almost like the end too. Like, because we friends with benefits, like it's a reason that you're gonna be over there. Like, either you're for me, if you're gonna make it over there, it's more than likely is because you're either not emotionally where you need to be for me to even like take you that serious, like on a relationship level, or um you're just not, your driver, your hustle is just not in line with mine. And for like me to consider you to be like my lady or a potential or whatever, to go that far. So it's more or less like, you cool people, we have a good time, we can talk, but it's not really like worth the relationship. Obviously, if we just want to be, friends with benefits. And sometimes friends with benefits is not always just like about sex. Sometimes friends with benefits could be like, oh, I'm having a bad day. Will you meet me at the bar for a drink? You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. It don't always got to be just like, oh, let's get to the bedroom. For me personally, but I think that even with that, you can go and have a good time with anybody. It doesn't mean like we got this deep connection, like we finna be together. We just out having some drinks after a long day. Like it is what it is.
That would be
And
like a
even with nights like that, it may not even go to the bedroom. It could be you go your way, I go my way. So I think friends with benefits is really like, to me, it don't have to be simplified to call me, smash, da 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 da. Because I'm the type of person where I can disconnect. Like just because we hanging out, that don't mean like you gotta be like I said, like my lady. I know some people,
mm,
some men and some women can't do that. Like if they hang out with you, now they on the line 2029, like, hey, when the next time we gonna hang out, hey, let's do this, hey, let's do that. And we like,
don't have
yo,
no hobbies.
great. Like we ain't
Really?
even there. Like just relax. We're not even there. Like, and I think also too, like friends with benefits comes with like timing. Like if you want to do something and I don't have time, like I'm not gonna create time to do something just because you want to do it. Like if our times line up, if I'm free that night when you call, then cool. But I'm not like switching my plans or like canceling something just to come just because you called. Like nah, it don't work like that.
Terrence.
Um, like really, I really don't like friends with benefits. To me, it's not a death sentence for me. Um, it might be like the lining, like Ed was saying, like the lining. But for me, it's like it all based off the situation and who I'm dealing with. Like I might not even be in a position for a relationship. So the best thing you can be, you know what I'm saying, is my friend with benefits. So if I'm not right and I know, okay, this person is a great person and I don't want to indulge myself into a relationship because I know I'm not in the right space for it and they still want something. Now, if they just want to go about their
Mm.
business, that's fine. But I really don't friend zone people, and like I'm thinking about my friend zone. Like my friend zone doesn't exist. Like
Mm.
either you come in as my friend and that's just what it is, and it's just platonic or whatever case might be, or we build some type of foundation. Because a lot of people that I know, like, foundation is everything to me. So if we start building a rapport, yeah, because at first you're an acquaintance, then
Mm.
you work into being my friend.
Mm.
You somebody, hey, I talk to them occasionally. We met at this place right here. So I don't use that friend word loosely.
Mm.
So you can be an acquaintance for however long.
I know you.
Um,
I know you. I know of you. It's one of those. I know you. I know
yeah, but
him. I don't
I've
know
seen
you.
you around a couple times, you know.
Right. I see you around from here to there.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
what was the Elgin's original question?
My original question to
To
Manu.
Manu. Yeah. What was that
Oh,
original question?
original question. What I asked her was, I asked her, how does it work? Like with attraction, why do people get put in the friend zone automatically? Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I remember. I remember.
And
Yeah,
then she kind
So
of walked it down like that.
he has the criteria to put them in the friend zone immediately.
Yeah,
because he said it don't sound like there's no criteria. For me,
yeah.
there's always a reason why you got put in the friend zone. There's always a reason why you may never get put in the friend zone. There's always a reason why you may be part of the dating rotation or somebody I'm talking to. There's a reason why I have to have these distinctions. Because I'm in therapy. And one of the things we talk about in therapy is boundaries. It's only so far I'm going to go with certain people. I'm going to let people in so far based on what you say, what you do, how you act, like our connection. It's only certain, okay, friend zone, certain, I'm not going to call and talk to you when I'm upset about something. Because I feel like we talked about this on our episode. A lot of women, sometimes men too, will use the friend zone um, as manipulation because they know there are people in their friend zone that want to come out. So they'll use, can you come fix this for me? No, friends, real friends, if you need something, are there for you. I don't put them in the friend zone. Friend zone are people I don't want nothing from.
but
So I
then
probably should call it acquaintance zone. I shouldn't even call it a friend zone. It's an acquaintance.
Nothing
yeah,
from, huh?
It's not a thing. We don't have to talk every day. We cool. My friends know that sometimes I don't want to be bothered. I have a mental health day when I don't talk to none one of y'all. Nothing. I don't get on social media. Nothing. So, but I can have deep conversation with my friends. I'm not gonna do that with somebody in the friend zone or in my whatever I'm gonna call it now because I feel like I need to change the name of
I,
it.
I I was about to say that because it's like if you're my friend,
Right. I trust
quote,
you.
saying like then we should have some type of relationship or some type of rapport.
I'm
Like
not talking to them people like that over there.
and the friend zone is just like I always thought like the friend zone was pretty much like how I could be like I could meet a girl, we so tight, that's like my sister. She's in the friend zone because she's like my sister. She's not my biological sister, that's my sis. So she is technically in the friend zone. We ain't never gonna cross that line because she like family. So that's how
For
I look
me,
at the friend zone. Is
for
this somebody that
me,
we
I
just
would categorize that from in my head as family. Like I take them out of the friend part and family because there's even the distinction for me between the friend and family thing. So it would be family. Like I love Manu and go to death. That's like family to me. That's not even they're not a friend. So I need to call that purgatory or something because that ain't because my friends I trust them. It's a certain wall or whatever that had to come down for my friends. But the people in the friend zone, I'm not having deep conversations and deep talks with you because for me the friend zone is the end point. Like that's as far as that's gonna go, and I don't want to have these deep conversations and talks with you and have you think like Elgin was saying that oh it's gonna be something that it's more than what it is. So I don't. We
I
need.
think
I'm gonna
you
write
guys
that.
gotta establish that in the beginning, though.
I
Like,
gotta call. I gotta write that down. You ain't.
you gotta establish that in the beginning, and I just feel that way because like some people, some people just not good people. You know,
Mm,
just that out there. You know, And so when they come across somebody that's like just a genuinely good person, they seem like, oh, he must he must want something from me, or he must trying to get at me, or he's trying to get in my drawers or whatever it could be, you know. And like I said again, like I'll speak for me personally, like I can I can connect with anybody, I can vibe with anybody. But that don't mean I want anything for you. That don't mean I even need anything from you.
Right.
Like most of the time when I interact with people, it be it be them needing something. Um,
Mm.
and they may see it in me or they may find it in me. And I might not necessarily get anything in return. And at times I'd be okay with that, because like I'm not just going around looking to see what I can get from this person, see what I can get from that person. Like I call them like build a bear people. Like they got somebody for this, they got somebody for that, they got somebody called for this. It's like you just like you got all these people in your life and you connect it so many different ways, and it's like you just building your perfect person and five other people. Like it doesn't make sense to me.
Mm.
Feel the oil.
So would it be fair to say that you don't
Huh?
would it be clear to say you don't agree with the roster rotation thing? Because that sounds similar to needing somebody for different reasons.
That's different.
I mean,
That's
I didn't say it was the same, it was similar.
I'm saying that's
It's similar, but I feel like when it comes to like a roster, you know, it could be people on the roster. But I just feel like it's a time frame on the rotation thing. Like you ain't got all day to be, you know what I'm saying, just sitting on the roster taking up a spot. Like, and as far as like rotation is concerned, like everybody a starter. If you on the roster, you're a starter. Like you have opportunity, you have access of some form. Um,
mm-hmm.
I feel like that it's 2021. Like me personally, I tell people all the time, like they be like, "Oh, why don't you give out your phone number or whatever the case may be?" And I was like, "For what?" Like, it's so many social media platforms. Like, you got my phone number; it comes right to my phone. Like, you don't need my number, you know. And at the same time, like, you probably won't get a response quicker if you had my phone number than if it was social media because you know notifications come through. Like I seen you message me 36 minutes ago. Yeah, I seen it. I might not have responded yet, but I seen you message me. So like I just feel like that's why I say like it's like an equal level playing field when it comes to like rotation. Like everybody's a starter. If you're on the team, you're a starter. So what you gonna do with your opportunity? And it's not like, oh, this person number one, this person number five, and then I'm gonna switch number five to number one, and number three gonna fall back to number five this week. Like, nah, bro, everybody got equal opportunity here. Like,
Mm.
and if you don't maximize your opportunity in that time frame, then you're not on the roster no more. Like, I don't know. They just
So
like,
I'm gonna ask everybody this. Since we're
okay.
talking about, you said everybody has equal opportunity on the roster
Mhm.
rotation.
Yeah.
When men have rotation, or when y'all have had a rotation, is there a favorite on the rotation?
Mm,
Is there a favorite on y'all's rotation? If you have
I'm
a
gonna let
rotation or have had a rotation, is there a
I'm gonna
favorite?
let T take that one first, and then I'm gonna jump in out there.
Because I want everybody to answer this one. So go ahead, Terry.
um, See, I don't even like the word rotation. It just sounds so horrible, man. Like it just roster rotation. I mean, it is
Yeah,
what it
level
is, but
playing field, bro.
it just sounds so horrible. Like
To you.
I I I just believe in like if you dating, you dating, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if I click with you, then obviously you're gonna get more time. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's like if I could get on the phone with you and have hour conversations, 30-minute conversations, then maybe you might get more time. You know what I'm saying? If I can't really kick it with you, I can barely, you know what I'm saying? Like yeah, you're not gonna have that much time. You know what I'm saying? So like El said, everybody got, but as far as favorite, I believe it's based off the mood. Like what I'm
Mm.
in the mood for. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was a roster, what I'm in the mood for. If I'm in the mood for somebody that's gonna have great conversations, if I'm in the mood for somebody that's gonna can be on FaceTime and be live, you know what I'm saying? The energy, or we can go out and turn up. You somebody that like to go watch movies, and I'm in the mood to watching movies. Like so, that would be based off what I was into and what I was feeling as
Mm.
far as your favorite, you know what I'm saying, the favorite. Or if you know how to cook or whatever, or you know good
And I'm
restaurants, then
hungry. I'm just
right. I might hit you up like, hey, I know you know a spot, you know, so it's
food bag.
all so food bag.
I'm just saying food bags. Because y'all be having
so
nicknames. Y'all got
so
nicknames?
so it's
Who got
all based off something. Like it's always, you know, whatever the mood is. Some people just not everyday people. So you got to take that into account too. Some
Um,
personalities just don't mess with it.
everyday people.
So So when I look at my somebody that, so I don't really have a favorite. So I would say that I don't have a favorite, but to look at it, I can see why people do have favorites. This person
I got
fulfills me in
favorites.
these
Shit.
different ways. So that's my
I'm
take.
gonna go. I'm gonna go to the ladies, and then I'm gonna come back to Elgin. Cause that's
Yeah,
glow,
let's hear from the lady.
glow. If because we. Boop, boop. Anyway, favorites.
All right. So, first of all, I'm not gonna admit or deny I have a roster.
Period. That's over had a little. I'm gonna neither confirm nor deny.
Admit or deny.
I'm not gonna admit or deny.
Mm.
But if I had a roster,
Uh,
I would agree with Terrence. Like there's and that's the reason you have them on the roster. Each of them bring their own specialties, right? So whatever you're gonna move for, that's what you're going towards. So he might be my favorite for the day, or the favorite for the week, depending on what I'm in, what I'm feeling. If I had said favorite or said roster,
period.
Pick your week, eh? That's what we going with.
Uh, Manu.
I won't
Favorites.
confirm or deny either. But if I had one too, hypothetically,
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
See what I done
No,
started?
I done sent through one of them with this foolishness. I done sent through one. I'm not gonna do it twice, okay, now? I'm not gonna do it twice.
Dang it, don't it?
hypothetically speaking, I feel like everybody's speaking hypothetical. I'm gonna do the same. So, because this is
Speaking
recorded
hypothetical.
and can be used in a court.
In a court of law? Okay.
It can be used in a court of law, and I
Out of
think
all
that
the amendments that she can choose, she
okay.
choose fifth. Anyway.
Okay, so
Okay, so
hypothetically.
Hypothetically, I usually do have a favorite, and I like Lo said, it'll change day to day, and it doesn't really depend on my mood. I think it depends how we connect, like the levels that we connect on. Because first and foremost, we're gonna connect on a physical level. I'm gonna think something about you is physically attractive, right?
Right.
And then after that, it'll be emotional, intellectually, spiritually. The more I can talk to you about, the more I can connect with you on. I think that's how I choose who my favorite is. Yeah.
Okay.
So your favorite comes emotionally.
Say it
What
again.
happened?
So your favorite comes emotional. From emotional connection.
Yes. But I think it's on several points. Like I said, physical first, and then the next levels after. But yeah, I guess emotional too.
I'm gonna answer this question about favorites. Hold please. Let me sip.
This girl, bro.
I gotta So recently, I have fired the entire roster. Like everybody was out of there. So I may or may not have drafted.
You heard Executive L. He said no more. He's not
This
gonna
my
hear no more.
this my show though. So I
The
may or may not have
disrespect. The
drafted. Okay,
disrespect.
let's. You know what? I'm grown. I have drafted a few new team members.
Hmm.
Okay, um, couple of them aren't new. They just had to earn their spot back. Okay. Um, yes, I have favorites, and yes, they changed. Okay,
Okay.
Elgin, it's your turn. I don't got nothing else to say about that. That's all I got to say about it. I have favorites,
That's
and yes, they
cold hard
changed.
fact.
It is what it
Um,
is. It's about consistency. That's what makes you change from being a favorite or not. Elgin, it's your
um,
turn. Favorites.
you know, as far as favorite goes, I don't really think it's like a favorite for me. Um, I just go off of what people showing me, So, um, because if you get into the favorite part, like it's getting close to a relationship. So
Why?
if I'm deeming you the favorite, like I'm probably applying a lot of pressure.
Mm,
So it's like a mutual favorite thing. Because if I'm applying a lot of pressure, that means you're receiving a lot of pressure, meaning you
mm.
wanting more of it.
That's a lot of talk about
So
pressure.
that would be more or less like if you become a favorite, it's like leading towards like a relationship. So I wouldn't say like have a favorite.
Mm,
You know, people,
But
everybody got equal opportunity.
but
hmm
she's maybe your favorite, but who says you're her?
Oh, you know, sometimes you might be somebody's favorite, but that don't mean they got to be yours. You know,
mm,
sometimes you may come across somebody and you like, you know, they may say like, oh yeah, I'm dating multiple people, but I vibe best with you.
mm, mm, mm,
That
mm.
don't mean like you vibe best with them or
And I have
What was you saying, Manu? Or somebody? Who was it, Manu?
sorry,
Oh,
I didn't mean I thought he was done. Yeah, it was
okay.
me. I had a quick question because you talked about applying pressure. Does is does it depend who pressure is coming from? Because for
Mm.
specific people, sometimes pressure is just like back off. Like this
what?
like
Wait,
relax.
rephrase that. Say that one more time.
No.
Start over, please.
So the question
Ooh,
is, you
get
were
out the
talking about
way.
applying pressure, like
Mm-hmm.
it may be they may become your favorite because they're applying pressure. Does that pressure depend on who it is? Because sometimes pressure from somebody, a certain person could be like, all right, relax. Like that's enough
Oh yeah,
pressure.
yeah,
Pause.
Hmm.
Back up a little bit.
yeah.
Thanks.
I think that you know what I mean by applying pressure. I mean like to me, applying pressure is the frequency of your consistency and the effort. Like as far as like the planning part. I feel like I know for a fact every woman wants to be planned for. So they want to feel like important enough for you to be like, okay, we're gonna do this, then that, then this, then that. On this day, we're gonna hear.
Initiative.
The farther out it is, the more excitement that comes with it. So when I say applying pressure, that's what I mean. I don't mean like applying pressure as in like being uh, verbally aggressive or you
Mm.
know aggressive through the messaging or whatever the case may be. I
And
just
not
mean
picking up
by
on social cues.
yeah, I just mean like being more consistent and
Hey, shit for that.
very much intentional.
Mm. Another question, and it has in regards to what Terrence said. I had wrote it down. 'Cause he's saying about he doesn't have favorites because it's all about how you click. It's always that one person he click with, and then Elgin mentioned that if you have a favorite, then you're close to a relationship with that person, if that's your favorite. What if you got two people and they neck and neck? They're right here. That you clicking. The thing be thinking on both sides.
Um,
Then what? Then
Let them
what?
fight. Let them fight for
You
I
said let them
say,
fight. Box it
I
out.
say, if you got two people that's neck and neck, you gotta you gotta put it, you gotta do a short list. You know, was this person pros, was this person cons? If this
Mm,
person got 5 pros, this person got three pros, then you might gotta move them just a little bit.
mm,
So I feel like that you got two people that you feeling like that heavy. They both, you know, for the most part, consistent. You vibing pretty good. Um, at that point, you have to then dissect them for who they are, what they are, and what comes with them. You know, I think sometimes people don't they don't understand what someone is bringing into the relationship. So
mm,
they don't
mm.
do enough back history to understand the baggage that's coming with them, if it is, or to even understand like, you know, they bring in a child or they bring in two child. So like, you know, you have to understand all of that, and you know, when you dating, in my opinion, those things matter. You know, so that's how I would deal with it. Never had that situation before, so but that's what I would do.
Child. Terrence, that we go all. I want everybody to answer that, but we're gonna go to Ben first on this one. Go ahead.
I never experienced somebody just neck and neck like that. Like, but the consistency part, it does break down to what baggage am I willing to deal with. Like, they can both be like here, like, yeah, this is great, but everybody's experience is different. So like, okay, if you do, one might trip about something
Hmm?
that the other one won't trip on, and I might be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool, they trip on that one. One might care about something that the other. So you really breaking it down, like he said, El said, breaking it down thoroughly. Now you got to comb through it. Like, okay, well, this one was kind of tripping. That I was, I was out with the fellas last night, and I really couldn't text as much or whatever case might be. The other one was cool. Like, shoot, just hit me up when you get home. So in a long term, I'm looking now. If I'm looking like that and I'm pushing, proceeding enough to a relationship, I got to look at what it's really gonna look like. Okay, if we together, the other one gonna trip. If I'm out and I ain't responding quick enough, that's gonna be a problem for me. Versus the other one who's like, hey, just make sure. I just want to make sure you are safe. I'm checking on you or whatever case might be. Oh, I'll let you know when I get home. I appreciate it. I might deal with her more. I might that so it start breaking it all the way down. Now it's like we got to get to the nitty gritty, and everybody personality just don't mesh that closely, where it's like that. So I mean, and if it's that close, that close, then you just marry both of them. Nah, I'm just messing.
Coming soon,
Messing
Queens
with
World
y'all.
episode on polyamory. That was a good segue, sir. You didn't even know, but I'm gonna do a whole episode on the polyamory and the
but
open relationships.
but nah, you know, it's like you said, El said you got to comb through it. Like, but you can keep riding it out. Somebody gonna fall off. Something gonna happen.
Somebody gonna fall off the bike. Glove, neck and neck,
yeah. So
neck and.
the funny thing is, what Elle said is exactly what I told ladies before. Make that pros and cons list about
Mm-hmm.
who you're talking to in this said roster. Okay. If it does exist, you know.
Who
But
knows?
loose.
Never know.
No, but because for yourself, you get caught up in the hype, right? This person's
Mm.
consistent. This person, does everything I want. They do one thing I don't like, and I was like, oh no, they off the list, right? But
Mm.
for the moment, someone else might be stepping up. So like Terrence said too, the consistency. Are they a person I can consistently go to, consistently talk to, consistently get a good attitude from? Is it something I want to deal with regularly? So that short list you talked about is something I preach all the time. Even if it's about relationships, friendships, job opportunity. You got 2 jobs you want to take. Which one you gonna take? I mean, obviously nowadays we need all the jobs,
Come
but
on, boss lady. Anyway, I just had to throw that
if
in
they
there.
at the same time, what's the pros? One paying me more, one's better hours. So same when it comes to relationships and these 2 neck and neck people, what's going to benefit me? What matches best with my lifestyle? What best matches my personality? I'm out there. People know me. I don't know if I can deal with somebody who's not like this. Like, just saying. So we got to mesh. Just because you might look good on the outside, or say look good on paper, good in reality.
Cosita. Manu.
I agree with what everybody said, and specifically with what Glow said about like, and Elle said about the pros and cons list. Yeah, and I think you should just compare them. But we've always talked about this. Us girls are always talking about this, about how it could look good on paper. You could match everything, hit all the boxes. And I still, like, I had a relationship like that where it was just like, dang, you hit everything. You hit everything. But we just don't match up. Like, maybe I think with our humor, like, humor is a big thing. You don't know somebody's humor until you're around them and you're really like hanging out with them and stuff. And we, in this day and age, we call it vibing. Like, are we a vibe? Do we vibe together? Do we not vibe together? Is it awkward when we meet up, or are we flowing, or what is it? So I've had it where it's been neck and neck, but as soon as you make that list or you compare the experiences, you automatically knock somebody off and somebody's lower than the other.
Now it's my turn. And why I gotta be the odd one out? So my issue comes in, this is why I asked this question, because there have been times and moments where the pros, if you got 6 pros, they got 6 pros. You got 3 cons, they got 3 cons. So it's really like which side. We both vibe. It's both easy on both sides. It seems a little far-fetched, but it has occurred where, okay, I can see myself with either person. So now what do I do? So
At
you
that
just
point, you gotta dissect them cons, man. You still gotta break it
consistency.
down.
This is where the consistency comes into play for me. That's why I said, my favorites can change. One person may be the reigning favorite. They may be the favorite most of the time, but it switches between them and that person they neck and neck with because the consistency. So it may take a longer time to just separate the two. You just got to get to that point. But there is a point where okay, you got to be like, this one's been. It may just come down to you've been the favorite more than the other person. And to be the favorite more than the other person, you must have had more consistency than the other person. Boom, that's it. That's where the choice is being made. I got another question for everybody. We were talking about things looking good on paper, right? So people always talk about what they bring to the table, I don't ever say what I bring to the table. I am the entire estate. That's how I feel about myself. But what people are presenting, the table that people are presenting, huh? What if you sit down at that table, ain't none of that food seasoned? Ain't none of that food seasoned at the table. Ain't none of that food seasoned. They got you medium rare chicken, which is not a thing. Let me tell somebody that real quick. If I see medium rare chicken one more again, that one more time, one more again on the internet, do not disrespect Michelle Obama's internet with that medium rare chicken. That is not a thing. You're going to get E. coli and salmonella and botulism. That's not real. I'm sorry, I've seen it too much. He like his chicken medium rare. That's not a thing. Don't do that. He not going to divorce you because he going to die. Like, don't. First of all, stop putting your dog food on the internet. Talk about I made some food. No, the dog don't want that. Anyway, They don't know. You don't know what somebody really brings to the table until you start eating what's at the table. So, with that being said, we're gonna go because we're gonna ask Terrence real quick. What is something that was said in that show that stood out to you? Besides you not liking the word rotation.
No, you know
Yeah.
what stood out was like people not talking. Like I guess like cutting off people due to some mistake they might have made, or
Mm,
like based off like preference.
mm,
So like I feel like, for instance, like if a person is like, for instance, everybody like a person is always put together, whatever, but they're hitting every mark or whatever, but they vegan and you really don't believe in vegan. You know what I'm saying? Like then you X them out just because they ain't based off what you into. Like on that just that small free. I really didn't like agree with that.
I mean, I'm gonna say something to that. For me, the cutoff when I cut somebody off is usually because there's a set boundaries I have in place for me, and
Hmm.
I'm not even gonna continue on this road with you, with us to do anything if I know that later on down the line, like some women do, that's gonna bother me, and it's gonna keep bothering me, and keep bothering me, and keep bothering me. And if that's who you are, don't change that necessarily to be with me if it's not negative or detrimental. It's just something I don't like. But if it's gonna keep bothering me and we're not. I'm not gonna do this to you or me.
So
Let's just cut it. Let's just stop it here because I don't like that.
let me
And
ask
mm,
so let me ask this question. I ain't mean to cut you off.
okay.
So, for example, okay, say say they do something that you don't like, right? Do you address it like, hey, I don't like this, or they said something like and you miscontacted, right? So you didn't they didn't say it the way you took it. Do you address it or you just ghost them or let them
I
go?
don't. I don't ghost people.
Okay.
Um, I do give disclaimers though when I first meet people, and I just let you know, hey, um, certain things I don't like, I don't accept. And if it's on the long lines of that, if I stop talking to you, I'm gonna say a couple of times, "Hey, I told you already. I don't. I don't." Because it usually takes me, honestly, a long time to cut people off. I let people stay around me and in my circle sometimes longer than they should be. But it's like the example you gave. That's something that's shallow for me that I wouldn't cut them off for. For me, it got to be disrespect or too much inconsistency, or you just have an off the wall ass view that I'm not going. I I don't rock with. So ain't no point in us even like well, Manu was saying like the big things, like as far as your faith is concerned. I believe in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. If you atheist, what I'm gonna do with you? Like, what what we gonna do? I'm not gonna have this argument with you or this discussion with you every day because I don't want to, because I don't want to, and because I don't want to, ladies and gentlemen, is a good enough reason for me. That's time, effort, and energy put into something for no reason. It is not up to me to convince you to change that view if that's your view. If you want to do that, like Manu said, because what if the person got saved and came back? That's cool, as long as you do that for you and not for me. Because I'm not in the business of making somebody change who they are. If I don't mess with you or mesh, that's what I'm saying. If I don't mess with you and click with you on something, it could be just that and it could be cool. But let's not waste each other's time anymore. And let's avoid all arguments and disruptions further down the line because that's something I really don't rock with. I don't want you to change that for me necessarily, but I just rather just move on because if whatever you do is somebody who like that, it's just not me.
Mm.
Certain things you say might be somebody that like that. It's not me. You got jokes you think it's funny. I don't. But guess what? Somebody do. It just ain't me. I believe that it's a person out there who thinks everything I say is funny. or they like the same things as me. Now, I'm not saying that I need to be with somebody who likes every exact thing I like, but our morals and our foundation for life have to be the same. They have to be able to coincide and go together. So I don't want to waste nobody's time or my own with that's not gonna work. I can already tell that's not gonna work because for me, doing the let me see or going against my better judgment. Let me see, it ain't that bad. I could no, it ain't never worked. Not one time for me. It may work, but that ain't never worked. Not one time for me. But let me see, it ain't that bad. I could get over that. I didn't. I did. Manu, I seen your hand was up. Uh oh. Maybe that means she be right back. But yeah, glow. I seen your face.
Because I was Terrence and I already had this conversation, so that's why I was wondering if he's gonna carry it on further.
I will bring it up. I'll bring it in.
Okay. So I already mentioned that before the last episode that I don't cut people off or put them on the friend zone or do not date list or whatever for one reason. It usually is multiple reasons, right? But you're undateable for me. The question before was, would they ever come back? Sometimes it's non-negotiable. Like you say, respect. Similar lifestyles to me is not as big a deal as it is other things because I like variety. All right. I bring something, you bring something, we make it match. We're gonna vibe off of that. But it's also how I brought up. I like a lot of stuff. So I like that kind of stuff. But if you were single-minded or closed-minded individual, that might be a no-go for me. If I introduce you to something and you be like, no, that's not how it's done. I'm gonna be like, there's more than one way, and I'm not gonna, like you said, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you on that. Okay, we're not. If you can't even give me the space to express myself and try something new, I don't know what we're doing here. Because I'm gonna do it. I want to try something new. So,
right. There's certain things, and I don't feel like. First of all, I don't like to argue. Yes, I am a lady woman person with lady woman parts, and I said I don't like to argue because I don't. You said what you said. I said what I said. We both listened to each other. Cool. Because as soon as you start yelling, if y'all didn't catch Fight Night Part 1 and 2, soon as you start yelling about things like this, about anything, I'm not listening to you anymore because I feel like your voice could come down here. You could say all that. But why? Like I can, it's certain people who I know. If you ever met somebody, y'all, and been around somebody and be like, I don't like them, but she be like, I don't even know you for real. Why I don't like you? And then they start talking. You like, I was right. My spirit was right about that. My spirit was right about that. That's not gonna go. I don't. Manu hand was up before she got kicked out.
Sorry about that. I pressed the wrong
No, you're
button.
fine.
So to what Terrence said, I feel like I have two different lists, right? So I have a preference list and I have a standards list. And obviously my preference list is way longer than my standards list. But if you don't meet one of my standards, that's going to cause me to kick you off of that. Will make me not ghost you. I don't like the term ghost because that just means you didn't handle it or face it or whatever or get clarification on it. So I think you should get clarification.
You didn't accept the no.
Right. So, but
some people don't accept no.
It's like a preference. Then I'd probably be willing to look past it, be more open-minded about that. But I feel like you have to have things that are just like, all right, if we don't match on this, then we can't go any further.
Right.
Family, faith, like all those kinds of things, those are core values. So if we can't even start there, where are we going?
Where are we going?
Yeah,
Where are we going?
I can definitely agree. Now, if you got a different preference in, like you said, something about veganism and stuff like that, you got a different preference in, what you want to eat, whatever, hey, that's your business. I ain't gonna X somebody out just because that's what they is, I think that, it'll just show your level of commitment to that person by having to remember that and plan for that. You know, if somebody's vegan, you might can't just go to a regular restaurant. Like you gotta look, you gotta research, make sure there's something on there that they can have as well. You know, so I think that's just really just would test how you really feel about that person. Um, and I definitely agree with Manu when it comes to, you know, standards and preferences. I feel like that, you know, standards is standards. I'm not budging on my standards. I'm not wavering. I'm not, oh, either it's that or it's that. You know,
Right.
either it's A or it's not type thing. Um, and, you know, I also think that with your preferences, you know, some of them are pretty close to standards as well, in my opinion. Some of them, they easily can be moved over to a standard. And I feel as if that you also have to stand strong on that. Some people, they just, with somebody that say they got somebody or they, you know, want somebody to come over at night. So they got somebody that don't have no standards. And
Warm
that's
body.
no that they got going on, you know. So I think that you have to make sure that people are worthy of you and your time and your space and your energy. Um, so that would be what it is for me. And also, you know, I think that, you know, opposites of faith don't really attract, in my opinion, just because when you get in depth with that, that thing takes a lot of time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When you in Christianity and things like that, you know, you spend a lot of time practicing and going to different things. And the same thing if you was, you know, say you was like Muslim or something like that, or
Mm-hmm.
another, you know, denomination or whatnot. You gonna spend time doing that. So all that time that you doing that and I'm doing my thing, we not together. So you have to think about that as well. I'm not saying that it can't work. I had a buddy that, you know, he he was Baptist and his lady was Seventh Day Adventist, and they made it work. You know, now they're both Southern Baptist, but for a while, you know, they just it wasn't meshing. You know, but
Mm.
they put the time in, they put the work in, they made it work.
Somebody converted eventually. um, we are going to wrap this up in the next 11 minutes.
Uh,
So I want to get some final points from everybody. And because it's five of us, I think 11 minutes is adequate. You know, everybody just can't be long winded. That's it. So we're gonna go Glow first. Your final thoughts on this the roster and the friend zone.
I liked it. I like the idea that we have different opinions about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I feel like we definitely we need to reword some things, right? Make some new terminology.
Yes, for myself.
Yeah, but I think because we've
Because,
always been told these things, right? I mean, you heard
mm-hmm.
the word friend zone forever. Like it's just what it is. But now we look at it, it's not what we think it is, or what it used to be, or what it means to someone else. So I like that
Right.
we have a chance to discuss that and talk about that and kind of. We don't agree on it yet, but I like that at least we're having conversation about it, right?
We don't have to agree because
Uh,
we all
Well, if we say
like different things.
yeah, but I'm saying if we talk about something, we know what cheesecake is. That's simple. We know what dating is. I'm just saying. I don't know. I like to have somewhat of the same, but I get it. You know.
Y'all peep my cup. Have y'all peeped my cup this episode? Do you see what this says? Do you see what this says? It says I am not responsible for what my face does when you talk. That's the whole mood. My family got together and bought me this for Christmas. Which is La Mano.
We had us girls had a conversation. I think it was last night or the night before, something like that. And I kind of wanted to use what I said in our group chat on here as my final words. And I
What'd you
basically
say?
said,
Wait, said what in the group chat?
no. It was just like it was final words, not nobody's business, nothing.
You gotta say it.
But I just said in the group chat, like, different strokes for different folks, like different, but everybody's different. Everybody has their different way of doing it. Just figure out what works for you, your standards, your preference, and stick to it. And that's it.
Speaking of different strokes of different folks, episode coming soon on that, and that is exactly what it sounds like. Because you're like, it ain't what it sounds like. That's exactly what it sounds like. Different strokes. We're all adults for different folks. Mr. Executive L, your final thoughts. Final thoughts. Final
Yes.
thoughts.
So my final thoughts is, you just put this out there. Everybody got a roster. Don't let nobody tell you different. Everybody got options out here in the streets. It's just what you do with them.
Whatever do you need?
Everybody got options. I'm sorry. I ain't even going front. Everybody got options. There's options for every shape, color, size out here in the street. You just got to be willing to accept those options, and then move accordingly on what they are. But I also would like to say, like, in closing, is just that, just stick with your standards at the end of the day. Don't budge on 'em. Like, if somebody don't match up, if you say, hey, you gotta have 3 standards to even make it. If they don't got 3, then just keep it moving. It might be, something nice to look at, but at the end of the day, is it really well put together?
Mr. Terence, Mr. Burse, your final thoughts.
Definitely interesting. Always a good time coming in here. We definitely kick it and vibe on. Everybody got their own thing and their own perspective on things. I'll just say, just my final thoughts: just keep growing, keep learning, and experiencing life. The more you put yourself in situations, the more you can expand your lifetime. So just keep watching and growing.
It was right to the point. Right to the point. So for my final thoughts, the Queen going to speak on Queen's realm. I am neither going to affirm or deny what. First of all, I'm gonna put the disclaimer out there. What Mr. Executive said about everybody got a roster. Everybody got options. I do want to say that everybody feel a certain way about themselves, and everybody might have an ego, but I don't want anybody to think that you're the only person that somebody likes. Because if I think I'm dope as fuck and another person think I'm dope as fuck, it's 7 billion people on the planet. You are not the only one who thinks I'm dope. So don't operate in that capacity. If somebody ain't said you're my girl or you're my man, please do not make assumptions based on the amount of times y'all talk, the amount of times y'all spend together, the amount of times y'all smash. Even if you spend money on one another, if they ain't said we are an us, you ain't a us, you one of them. And by one of them, I mean you own somebody rotation. You somebody option. So don't make any assumptions about what your relationships are with people if you ain't talked to them people or had a conversation with that person about who you are, what you are. And if they tell you you own the team, you can either take it or leave it because you can get replaced. Didn't nobody tell you not to have a team because you really like me a lot? I got a team. I may or may not have a team. That's what I meant to say. So there's that. Yes, Sandy. But anyway, everybody got options. So just remember that. And it's not a bad thing if you're an option. It's just make sure that you have options as well. Don't put all your eggs in one basket because you might just be an egg in somebody else's basket, one of many. You felt the oil glow. You felt the oil of shut it up. Oil. Just felt the Holy Ghost move. Holy Ghost move through the room. Just move.
Real.
You ain't said nothing slick to a can of oil. I'm just saying. But I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of Queens Run Podcast. We on the road to 100 episodes, people. So stay tuned. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, all of that. Everybody's social media gonna be down at the bottom. Gotta do a quick shout out. I got them good hoop mobs on again today. You know, some hoop mob gang. You know, my girl Aisha Kaleem hooked me up again. You know, I'm extra, so she always gotta have a gold in her nails because I'm a queen. Anyway, you know, toes and match, but y'all can't see my feet. They're cute though, but that ain't none of y'all business. You can't see my feet for free. Uh, again, want to thank all my special guests, Miss Glovetry, you understand, Mr. Terence Burse, my Acosita Manu. I don't know why I say it with that accent every time I say her name, but I can't help it. Because once you learn the name, once you learn that whole name, it took me like 2 weeks. Once you learn that whole name, you can help. And Mr. Executive Bill, I thank y'all so much for being a part of today's episode. Stay tuned for different strokes for different folks and single black female. It's going to be a very interesting couple of episodes coming out next week. Yes, I said it. I'm putting the date on it so I can actually do it next week. It'll be out next week. Like today is Saturday, the day of our Lord and Savior, the 7th. So 7 days from that day. That's what I mean. 7 days from this. But anyway, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Bye. 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 See y'all later. Thank you for being